most of the things. But we still remain grateful to God despite the difficulties. This 1 year has been a difficult one for all public universities in Nigeria. And having the privilege of being the chaplain, the direct chaplain to the Vice Chancellor, I know how much he has been disturbed about it. And at some point he told me, "Father, we're almost 1 year and we have not done anything." I said, "Prof, I know it's not easy for us as human beings, but the scripture tells us and encourages us to trust in God because he has a hand in all that happens. If by the grace of God, these issues are able to be resolved, I think if we can keep these remaining 4 years intact and steady, it would have been better, or it will be better for us than having those kind of 3 months, 4 months strikes. But we commit everything into the hands of God and ask for his blessings, trusting always in his favors. And that is my prayer for you and for the members of this university. Let us not be discouraged. There are many things to come. And at the moment, I think one of our greatest prayer points should be that the impasse, the conflict between university unions, because it's not just ASU, there are other unions who are also quiet for now, but they are aggrieved. That the conflict between the unions and the federal government will be resolved amicably, and justice will be given to every party. As such, I do not want to say much, but I want to pray now for the Vice Chancellor for the university and for all of us gathered here, committing ourselves to God and asking him for his favors as we move forward. May we arise for a prayer, please. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God, our Father, creator of the universe and all that is within it, we give honor, adoration, and glory to you for all that you have been to us. We thank you in a special way for the gift of this university, the Center of Learning and Character Formation. We thank you for your son, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Tanko Ishaya, who today marks 1 year since his appointment to this position of service to you through this university. We thank you for seeing us through the past 1 year, even though life in Nigeria's public universities has been largely uneventful and full of difficulties for students, staff, and management. Notwithstanding the challenges we are still faced with, God, we are strengthened by the words of Scripture, that you cause everything to work together for the good of those who love you. Confident in your words, therefore, we are here to thank you and to seek your blessing upon our Vice Chancellor as he takes stock and commits himself to the service of this university. Eternal God, you have graciously chosen your son, our brother and colleague, Tanko Ishaya, to lead this university at this time of its history. We beg you to grant him the wisdom you gave to Solomon when he prayed for an understanding heart and the capacity to decipher right from wrong. May it please you, O God, to assist your son with the spirit of counsel and fortitude, so that he may lead your people in righteousness. Guide, direct, and protect him as he pilots the affairs of this institution. Grant him good health of mind and body, and keep him safe while he travels. And when he returns, may he meet a welcoming and loving home. May our Vice Chancellor not be distracted by power and privilege. Rather, may he be driven by the spirit of service and be focused on promoting the common good. Be pleased, O Father most holy, to imbue your Son with the needed graces so that he may take this university to greater heights. Look kindly upon the members of his team. We pray you, O God of peace, grant them understanding and harmony, so that they would assist our Vice Chancellor in running a progressive, cohesive, and rancor-free tenure of office. May they and our Vice Chancellor take to heart the pursuit of justice, fairness, inclusion, excellence for the betterment of our university and to the glory of your name. For the other members of the university community, we implore thee, O loving Father, to grant us the grace of good followership. For his family, we beseech thee to graciously stretch out your hands upon his wife, children, and other members of his family, so that filled with your goodness, they may provide for him a safe, peaceful, and loving atmosphere that will enhance his work. As your Son renews his commitment to the service of this university, we entrust him and his team to your loving care and direction, confident that you will accept our prayers of thanksgiving, which we offer to you today and always, and also grant our prayers of petition, because we make them in faith, in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the DVC Academics and the DVC Admin, the librarians, sir, the deans and directors that are present here, my two most respected colleagues have spoken, and we are all here as staff and members of the University of Jos to rejoice with our Vice Chancellor, having spent 365 days in office. It is our responsibility to show our thanks and gratitude to the Almighty for sparing our lives to have witnessed this day. Despite the odds, despite the challenges, despite the strike, here we are today rejoicing about another, that our Vice Chancellor has completed 1 year in office. It is our prayer that the Almighty Allah will spare his life to the end of his tenure, and one day we will come back here celebrating the Vice Chancellor for completing his 5-year tenure. To our deans and directors and other principal officers, it is the making of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we are choosing to be part of this successful team of the Vice Chancellor. It is our prayer always that the Lord will continue to guide you, strengthen you, give you more wisdom, so that you will help in formulating policies that will move University of Jos to greater heights. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you the wisdom and the courage to do the needful, so that at least everywhere University of Jos will be celebrated. And at this point, my chairman, Professor Ismail Oboro, has directed me to offer a prayer. Sallu ala Nabi al-Karim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin wa rahim Muhammadin wa ala Muhammadin wa barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin. كما صليت ورحمت وباركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم في العالمين انك حميد مجيد. اللهم احسن عاقبتنا في الامور كلها واجرنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الاخره برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث اصلح لنا شاننا كله ولا تكلنا الى انفسنا طرفه عين. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث اصلح لنا شاننا كله ولا تكلنا الى انفسنا طرفه عين. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث اصلح لنا شاننا كله ولا تكلنا الى انفسنا طرفه عين. اللهم أعن بروفيسور توكو إشاء وأعوانه، اللهم أعنهم، اللهم أعنهم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين، الحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.
Thank you so very much, our clergymen, for the words of prayers to our Vice Chancellor marking his 1 year in office. As it was earlier notified to us, that this is just a prayer session, after which a series of activities and events will take place. On this note, I'll still invite Dr. Yusuf Abdullah for the closing prayer.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. As we come to the end of this prayer session, it is a prayer that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take each and every one of us safely back to our destinations. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, ihdinas siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati 'amma yasifun, wa salamun 'alal mursalin, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin.
Thank you very much for the closing prayers. Dr. Yusuf Abdullah, the Chief Imam of University of Jos. Okay.
Thank you. Permit me to present this token. It's not money. It's not new Naira notes. It's the Bible. We would have presented this to the Vice Chancellor earlier than now, but for the strike. And this meeting this morning afforded us to present this to you, sir. On behalf of the Chapel of Faith, University of Jos, present this gift of the Holy Bible to you, that the Word of God will guide you all through your tenure, in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you very much, Professor Ismail Oboro. Ladies and gentlemen, please, those behind, can you kindly come forward here, please? And the pressmen, if they are here, they should also come forward, please. The pressmen should be at the front, please. The pressmen should be seated at the front. Thank you so very much. We are about to have this press interview, and I would like we are about to have this press briefing by the Vice Chancellor to mark his 1 year in office. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Tanko Ishaya, FB, CS, other principal officers here present, deans, directors, heads of department that are here with us, senior deputy registrars, other invited guests, gentlemen of the press. I welcome you to this august occasion. Before we give room to the press men to start, I would like to introduce to you the management that are here with us to mark this occasion, starting with the 10th Substantive Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos, who is here with us, fellow of the British Computer Society, fellow of the Nigerian Computer Society, a digital genius, a seasoned team builder. Welcome, Professor Tanko Ishaya, who is here with us. Please, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to our distinguished Vice Chancellor, please. We have the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic in the presence of Professor Rahila Langnan Gowon. She's also here with us. We also have the first of his kind, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration in the person of Professor Joash Amopitan, who is also here with us. We also have the Registrar, Dr. Rejoice Songden, who I believe is ably represented by the Senior Deputy Registrar, Mr. Malo, who is here with us as well. He's a former Registrar at Plateau State University. The librarian is Dr. Thomas Adibun, who is also here with us. Also here with us is the Bossa, Mr. Philip Mbugala, ably represented by the Senior Deputy Bossa Finance, Mr. Tim Loktasa. And of course, we have our distinguished clergymen who are here, Professor Ishmael Ogoro and Dr. Yusuf Abdullahi, who is the Chief Imam of the University of Jos, very Reverend Father Paulinus Weke, the good Chupa Catholic Chaplaincy, is also here with us. So here to welcome us is the Senior Deputy Registrar in the Vice Chancellor's Office, Mr. Nansat Namchak. Thank you for coming. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to this press briefing of the Vice Chancellor's marking his 1 year in office. I would like to invite the pressmen that are here to introduce themselves and their media organizations before we start. Please. Pressmen, if you are here, kindly indicate.
Okay, good morning. My name is Uday Bonaya Israel. I work with Apex News Exclusive. It's an online paper based in Abuja. but I also freelance with ISFM because I'm an alumni here. Good morning.
I'm Clifford Pam from University of Jos, Information Public Relations.
My name is Juliana Olajide. I work in ISFM UJ. Good morning.
My name is Philemon Issa Obizi. I'm a freelancer at I-96.1 FM UJ.
Good morning all. My name is Doris Izan with the University of Jos radio station, that is ICE FM 96.1.
Good morning, distinguished. My name is Osha Paul. I'm representing ICT streaming team.
Good morning all. My name is Nkwacha Christiana. I report for this day newspaper.
Good morning all. My name is Don Chinese of Nigerian Standard Newspaper.
Good morning, I'm Murtala Sani, Radio Nigeria.
Good morning all, I'm Bob Timothy, PRTV.
Good morning, my name is Samson Omale. I work for Silverbirds Communications.
Good morning, sir. My name is Isaac Shibayo. I work with Nigerian Tribune newspaper.
Good morning all. I'm Kolade Adeyemi. I write for the Nation newspaper.
Good morning all. I'm Funam Joshua, TBC News.
Good morning, my name is Peter. I'm in the News Agency of Nigeria.
Good morning all. My name is Kingsley Chukwuka, Daily Times.
Good morning all. Kevin Parker, student with the University of Jos, Department of Law.
Good morning, sirs. I am Dan Malum from ICFM Jos.
Good morning, sir. My name is Mary Teres Nandon, and I for Vanguard newspaper.
I am Issa Abdul Salame from the Guardian newspapers.
Thank you so very much, gentlemen of the press, for coming. We appreciate you. We also have the deans, directors and heads of department that are here. Please, I would like you to recognize them with a round of applause for attending this invitation. We also have Pastor Nuhu Sani, President of the University of Jos Alumni Association and member governing council of the University of Jos, who has just joined us. Please recognize him. Thank you so very much. On this note, I would like to invite the man of the moment himself to address this August gathering here this morning. May I now invite the 10th substantive Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos, Professor Tanko Ishaya, FBCS, FNCS.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
The principal officers of the University of Jos, I want to first of all acknowledge them individually. The DVC Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic,
introduce Professor Rahila Langman Gowon, the first female Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic of the University of Jos. The TBC administration, Professor George Amopitan, SAN, whom I believe is probably the first SAN to be a member among the principal officers of this great university. The registrar also is Dr. Rejoice Somden. She's away on an official assignment. The first female also to be the registrar of the university. She is heavily represented by our former registrar of the Plateau State University Workers, in person of Mr. Manuel. The bursar of the university, Mr. Philip Mbugala, who is also away on an international assignment, but is heavily here represented by Mr. Tim Locke. The librarian of the university, Dr. Adegun, all our three clergymen. I must recognize the members of council. There are two members of council here. Our own Professor Sati Fakshak, who is also Dean of the Faculty of Arts. And we have Mr. Pastor Nurusani. I thought because he's a pastor, he would have been here during the first session of prayers. He's the president of the Unijos Alumni Association and also a member of the Governing Council. Permit me to recognize all the deans, directors, heads of departments, heads of units, senior colleagues, both academic and non-academic, distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press. I want to most sincerely welcome you to this press briefing to mark the first year tenure in the history of the University of Jos, as myself and my team being the 10th substantive Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos. Precisely a year ago, I assumed office as the 10th substantive Vice Chancellor of our great University of Jos. Since then, we have not taken anything for granted to ensure that we continue building on the legacies that our predecessors have left. We came on board with a very clear vision of nurturing a world-class institution for academic excellence and innovation with a local, national, and global impact. To achieve the vision, we promise to create a conducive academic environment that promotes and strengthens creative and innovative teaching, learning, research, and services that are responsive to both local, national, and global needs. We promise to operate on a core principles of purpose, process, and people that should be guided with the core values of transparency, accountability, and integrity. Of course, adhering strictly to the University of Jos Act and statuses. Indeed, the journey thus far has yielded some benefits, even amid some obvious challenges that we have done our best to overcome regardless. So far, we all have been able to achieve resulted from the pluralism of efforts and team approach to getting things done. We must at this juncture express our most profound appreciation to all necessary stakeholders that have graciously rendered assistance, services, and support in this regard. I particularly express appreciation to the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, members of the Governing Council, distinguished members of the Senate, members of staff, the leadership of the various staff unions, and our most important stakeholders, our students, the Student Union Government and the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS. Externally, we have received tremendous support from our parent ministry and some of its agencies. The Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, and the National Universities Commission, MUC, have also made a lot of impact on our journey so far. There are many other government and non-governmental actors and agencies that have equally played key roles, and we shall give an account of our interactions with them during our reportage. By and large, we have enjoyed a cordial and harmonious working relationship with virtually all the parties mentioned above. We do not take it for granted when we have such partners in progress and fail to reciprocate to them. We will not rest on our oars until we attain our set goals and actualize our mission and vision for the University of Jos. Having stated the above, permit us to give an account of the stewardship and progress report for the past 1 year as follows. I want to at this point indicate that the past 1 year we all know have been very, very challenging. And in celebrating this particular 1 year in office, I have been counting the number of days. I remember the Chief Imam says we have been here 365 days. But out of that, 8 months have been on strike by various unions. And therefore, if you must subtract 8 months from 1 year, we are only actually giving an account of the 4 months in office. Having said that, I recall that even when preparing for my interview, I highlighted quite a number of areas that I thought that this management would be focusing on with respect to development. And I want to start with number one. We promised that one of the first thing that we will start doing is actually building a collegial university. We believe that building a collegial environment in the university is a fundamental requirement for excellence. Since every system succeeds, system success depends on the strength of the people. We are building and maintaining a harmonious working relationship with all stakeholders, including but not limited to the University Governing Council, the Senate, members of the administrative team, and indeed all the unions of the university. Fostering industrial harmony in the university. One of the very first things we did upon assumption of office was to ensure the actualization of one of our main objectives. That is to engender a more cordial working relationship with the various staff unions on campus. As at that time, the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU had suspended all postgraduate activities because of the lingering issue of non-payment of backlogs of claims for resource persons. Management, together with ASU leadership, put their heads together and came up with modalities that resolve the matter amicably. I must at this point say that we are, as management, appreciative to ASU for their understanding, because even the amicable understanding that we agreed for the suspension of the of these activities of postgraduate studies, management is still unable to meet the expectations. But nevertheless, I want to thank ASU for understanding, and I believe that happened because of the strike that actually came about. We have also continued to engage the other staff unions and are working in cordiality for the progress of our great university. Even during the industrial action that engulfed all public universities from the first quarter of this year, until about 2 months ago, they have all, in their respective rights, shown a great deal of empathy and togetherness. We will ensure that this relationship flourishes for the overall good of the system, the University of Jos. The other thing with respect to building a collegial university is on the appointments. Distinguished members of the press, appointments in the university have been based on merit and inclusivity. You would have seen, and that is why I took my time to be able to introduce all the members of management. And the university community will believe and agree with me that we have put in the best hands to help in the development of this university at this point. So the composition of the principal officers is one that I believe the university is very pleased to have. There are other appointments that we have made, and all those appointments is to ensure that the university continues to flourish. That merit is the basis, and capability has been the basis of most or all the appointments that we have made within the university. 3, staff and student welfare. Another cordial area of our administration is the welfare of our esteemed workforce. We have continued to align with their respective unions with a view to ensuring that the welfare of their members are mainstreamed and sustained within our purview. The industrial action that took a chunk of our time this session has hindered some of the actions we had in mind. But with the return of normalcy, we shall ensure that our workers are fully motivated and their welfare is actually taken very seriously. Be that as it may, we have just announced the promotion of over 200 academics to different professorial and associate professorial cadre. We have about 143 senior and 399 junior staff that has actually enjoyed promotion, the last round promotion. The registry and all units, especially the complexes, are currently working around the clock to ensure that both teaching and non-teaching members of staff who are due for promotion and other form of career advancement are attended to without delay. Our hope is that, our wish is that the promotion that is supposed to take effect from November should have been concluded before the end of this year. And that is what we want to sustain. On student welfare, we do not take that for granted because, like I said earlier, students are our core stakeholders. We are always mindful that the reason why the university exists is because the students are here. That was one of the reasons why we will say that throughout the 8 months of strike, that management were more or less not operational, even though we were working throughout those periods of time. But because students were not on ground, that is the reason why we will always say that we have lost 8 months of academic activities. So we have introduced quite a number of issues. The one particular thing that we have introduced is the work-study program, where interested students are involved in doing and providing different services. The first thing that we have done is to been involved in the cleaning services cutting of the grass within the campuses to enhance their means of sustenance within the campus. Management have been exploring various ways because we are aware there are students who would more or less want to utilize their time effectively in doing one thing or the other in order to help and support themselves and also to support their parents. And therefore we are looking at various aspects where we will roll out the students can actually continue to benefit. Academic matters and research. As part of our mandate, we had promised to ensure the high academic standards that the University of Jos is known for is sustained and improved upon. In that regard, at the beginning of the session in January 2022, the university had 43 programs that were due for accreditation. We ensured that adequate preparations and necessary measures were taken to ensure successful accreditation of all our programs. At the end of the exercise, I'm happy and pleased to say that 90% of our undergraduate programs were granted full accreditation status by MSc. This was an increase from the 57.3% of the programs on full accreditation status in the university before the last exercise. In addition, as part of the accreditation exercise, 2 postgraduate programs, namely Masters in Accounting and Masters in Business Management, were also accredited and they were granted full accreditation. We are exploring all avenues to ensure that even our postgraduate programs undergo NUC accreditations. As for programs that were not granted the full accreditation or denied, we are committed to ensuring that they are fully accredited at the next exercise that we are waiting for. Improved ranking of the university, the rank that we will secure this year would have been much better than what we had the year before. On the matter at hand, I want to also say that for the very first time, we decided, as a university to join the highly rated higher Times ranking of the world universities for the year 2022. Being the first time to appear, although we were not actually ranked very highly, but the University of Jos were actually noted as one of those reporters. We are committed to improving that ranking from this year. And the Directorate, the DVC Academic and the Directorate of Academic Planning, the Director of ICT have been working around the clock in order to ensure that all staff has keyed in order to ensure that at the next ranking, that the University of Jos will be ranked within the world universities that are through the higher times ranking of the world. The university has also had professional ranking in this year. For example, the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria has just finished the accreditation process of the College of Health Sciences. And we await the outcome of that ranking, which we believe is going to be favorable. We shall ensure that this continues to improve until we get to the top. We enjoy all relevant stakeholders to partner with us as we seek to achieve this loved objective of high academic standard and excellence for our great university. On research activities, despite the strike action by the unions, some teaching staff and relevant units were gainfully engaged in various research activities that yielded positive outcomes for the university. Through their activities, they were able to attract research grants and funds. The following are actually worthy of noting. We currently have a total of 11 TEDFund NRF ongoing research grants. And all these 11 11 grants have attracted funds worth 383,948,000 and so on and so forth. So at the moment, with the commitment of our academic staff, even during the strike, they have been working on various aspects, various research. And at the moment, I'm pleased to note that that 4 of our research proposals for TETFund NRF grants has reached the final stage. In fact, have completed the final stage of having successfully defended the 4, and we are expecting, currently awaiting the awards of these 4 NRF grants. Of course, when we get the 4, that will actually add to the ongoing NRF grants to about 15. We have, those are not the only grants we have, we're just talking about the NRF grants. We have attracted French Embassy IFRA grant on e-health projects of the University of Jos, worth about 30,000 euros. This grant was actually was won by our distinguished professor, researcher by excellence, a former vice chancellor of the university, of this great university, Professor Harold Babane Mafue, and the team. The Advancement Office and others are worth mentioning. 10 staff of the University of Jos have just returned from an Erasmus Plus with the University of Paris in Greece, which the staff have been completely sponsored by the Erasmus Plus. There were 10 staff who would have been on board, actually airborne to Russia today. But unfortunately, because of the issues of the visas, these 10 academics were not able to actually go. But we are working to ensure that that collaboration and that staff visit actually takes place within the first quarter of the year. The Office of Research and Development, ORD, has attracted a grant worth $110,000 to train research administrators in public universities in Nigeria. So far, it has organized a number of activities, including training workshops and seminars on research administration, training workshop and seminar on research administration in various places, and of course, the various aspects of training on how academics can actually bring up quality grant applications, and also on grant and financial management. In addition to the 4 research grants awarded above, there are also quite a number of researches that are actually going on, research proposals that are going on. We had the induction of the first set of the veterinary doctors in Unijos. Perhaps one of our greatest achievements within this period is the successful induction of the first graduates from the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine on Thursday, November the 24th. With due respect to my predecessors who worked hard to ensure that the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine was established in the university, the pioneer dean of the faculty, Professor Lami Lombin, and all other stakeholders, particularly the academics, the faculty, who made this come true. I'm honored to have been the one at the helm of affairs to accomplish this very important task. May I also state that during the year, that faculty actually, which happened to be the youngest faculty and the veterinary teaching hospital in the country. But that youngest faculty is actually the faculty that is moving the trend as far as veterinary medicine and practice is concerned. We shall leave no stone unturned in making sure that we consolidate on the gains made thus far. Possibly it's our desire to improve on our gains, and we hope to maintain and achieve a level of excellence and quality service delivery in line with our global practice. Although it is just more or less 4 months of active activities within the year, but we have had a lot of successes with respect to projects and interventions. We are, within the year, been able to attract 4 TED Fund special intervention projects. And these 4 TED Fund special intervention projects include the perimeter fencing of the university that is currently ongoing, further works on the Faculty of Agriculture, the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, and the Faculty of Natural Sciences. We also have another intervention for the first phase of the construction of the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences. We have intervention on the upgrading of the renal dialysis facility, which we are actually collaborating with the University Teaching Hospital, Jude, in order to ensure that quality services have been provided to the society, to the community and society. Some of these projects have already been concluded, and some are still ongoing. We have been doing the best we can in order to attract more funds for projects. Number 6, the promoting strategic partnerships and collaboration. We have been doing quite a lot in order to improve the partnerships and collaboration with the University of Jos and other external organizations. One of the first things that we did was actually a public-private partnership memorandum of understanding signing with Mrs. Royal Choice. In our bid to mainstream one of our core values, we started off by engaging in strategic partnerships, collaborations, and affiliations. We have signed an MOU with Mrs. Royal Choice, and the MOU was for the lease of the old council guest house located at the Naraguta campus in order to enhance that and build a very good hotel accommodation on campus. The guest house will be remodeled to meet global standards, and a hotel will be constructed at the same location for public use. This move is to boost the drive of public-private partnership and other means of internally generated revenue in the university. The memorandums of understanding, we have signed a lot of memorandums of understanding with institutions, higher institutions, both within and outside of this country. Some of these include the memorandum of understanding that has been signed with the University of Iowa in the United States on educational training, research, and cooperation with the Faculty of Education in the University of Jos. We have recently, while increase on staff exchange, 1-week staff exchange, we have signed a memorandum of understanding with the University of Piraeus in Greece. And all that, the 2 memorandums of understanding is open for all staff and students with respect to students exchange, staff exchange, staff and students research opportunities, utilization of various research equipment, and so on and so forth. So we think that is a very good. Yes, we think that is a very important milestone that we have already achieved. We are committed and have promised that the memorandums of understanding that we have signed are not just going to be shelved. We are going to really continue to utilize the memorandum of understanding with respect to development of various activities using those memorandums of understanding. We have also signed memorandum of understanding with the Nigerian Immigration Service, Nigerian Customs Service, the Voice of Nigeria here in Nigeria, the Jos University Teaching Hospital, particularly with respect to the joint provision of medical services, the Tuku Buratai Research Center. We are currently discussing, actually, a memorandum of understanding has been signed with NIPS, and we are currently discussing rolling out, a master's program in collaboration with NIPS. That process has commenced. Of course, that will go to Senate for approval before that comes on board. Most of these memorandums of understanding were signed following the courtesy visits that we did, including the courtesy visit to the Nigerian Immigration Service, the courtesy visit to the Nigerian Customs Service. One of the things that we got from that particular visit was that, and the partnership that we have signed, the university was able to secure 4 auction vehicles allocated to her. And they have since been acquired and added to the pool. And these vehicles include a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, a Toyota Sienna, a Lexus A350, a Toyota Corolla, and so on and so forth. This is something, I believe that this is something that the university has never had the opportunity of benefiting from. We intend to leverage on this partnership and get more vehicles and other things that we need, thereby maximizing our opportunities optimally. The courtesy visit to the Bureau of Public Enterprises, a memorandum of understanding has been signed, and we are currently working on various projects that we ensure that we have, we take advantage of the memorandum of understanding towards enhancing our processes and our practices within the university. The courtesy visit to the Voice of Nigeria at the corporate headquarters, where we also signed a memorandum of understanding. I've talked about the Tuku Buratai Research Center. We also had a courtesy visit to the Vice Chancellor of the University of Manchester, actually in the United Kingdom, my alma mater, and at the moment we are looking at various aspects of signing a memorandum of understanding where there will be an opportunity for student exchange, staff exchange, research collaboration, teaching collaboration, and so on and so forth. All this is towards ensuring that the quality of academic activities in the University of Jos, is of a world standard. I forgot to note, but this is very, very important. I forgot to actually write it here, but this is very important. One of our great alumnus of the University of Jos, who is an SAN, Jibril Okutepa, SAN, we actually management paid a courtesy call on him. And they paid a courtesy call on him because of one thing that he has done that I'm not sure that has ever happened in the history of this great university. Because on my appointment, the SAN has promised, and not only promised, has written, which was actually presented at council, has written to promise providing pro bono legal services to the University of Jos throughout my tenure. And for an SAN, to offer not just himself, but his own practice to provide a lot of pro bono services. That is a clear demonstration, of his commitment and sacrifice to the development and growth of this particular university. We thank the SAN most sincerely. Another landmark that we have gotten in the university is the hosting of the 27th Nigerian University Games Association, NUGA. As a way of strategically marketing the University of Jos, we bidded for the hosting rights of the 27th edition of the NUGA, and that was actually granted to the University of Jos. Again, this is the first time, if I'm not mistaken, the very first time that the University of Jos will ever have that opportunity of hosting all Nigerian University Games, and that is going to come up in 2024. I want to, at this point, actually appreciate the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, and all those who have worked tirelessly to ensure that we were able to actually secure this hosting right. It was not just something that we went and grabbed. It was something, that it was a long process. NUGA came here, evaluated facilities. They went to other universities to evaluate the facilities, and so on and so forth. And for the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, I have never seen in my life or heard that the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council joined management and all the the NUGA contingents that actually went to the University of Lagos in Lagos, to provide and demonstrate the support of not only himself, but the support of Council. That is to demonstrate how cooperative and how this kind of support we're actually getting from the Council, the current Council of the University of Jos. We have constituted a committee on community relations and university engagement. That committee has started work since, and we have seen the benefit of that committee. The committee is being chaired by the chairman of Jos North, and has members drawn from within the university and the communities. In fact, I remember that I believe that all our clergymen are actually serving in that particular committee. One thing that I would say is that before that committee, if you asked Professor Ijikeme, the former acting vice chancellor, to go to that committee, he would tell you he would never go. And in fact, even the chief security officer, all of them were actually afraid of going close to that particular communities. What we have seen now is that we can go there freely, and I want to say that the contractor already is working towards the building of the fence that we have gotten support from TEDFund. So we want to thank the committee, for the work that they have been rendering. And we want to appreciate the communities, obviously, for understanding and beginning to understand, to know that actually the university is here for the purpose and the benefit of the community. We will continue to work closely with the community in order to achieve a harmonious, coexistence within the communities that are around us. We're introducing the WASH program in the University of Jos. We have keyed into the federal government's water, sanitation and hygiene WASH sector, WASH program, which was declared to be a state of emergency by the government. As declared by the World Bank in 2019, a combination of inadequate infrastructure, a lack of required human capital, poor investment, and a deficient enabling regulatory environment, amongst other challenges, meant that approximately 60 million Nigerians were living without access to basic drinking water. 80 million people had no access to improved sanitation facilities, while 167 million could not access basic hand washing facilities. The benefit of this WASH will include number one, visibility of the university. The University of Jos becoming a specialist actually in WASH. Opportunity for upgrading WASH facilities in the university. And opportunities to attract public health funds to the university linking the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, on education, particularly SDG 4 to 6 on WASH, and contribute to the meeting of other goals. Opportunity for UNIJOS to become a research and development hub, for Nigeria and possibly West Africa as far as WASH is concerned. Distinguished members of the press, these are just a very few aspects that we can actually indicate as some of the things that we have achieved. There are, of course, quite a number of other achievements that we have made. There are achievements that we have made as far as IT infrastructure is concerned, the IT services are concerned. For the very first time, this is the first time that I have seen an IT staff introducing himself, as one of the press crew, as someone who is actually providing online access. And as we speak, this event is actually being streamed across the world, and everyone who has the link is actually following us all from outside of this particular hall. So there are a lot of other activities that the ICT team are doing. As far as we are concerned, one of the greatest objective that we have is to ensure that the University of Jos is driven. The University of Jos activities are actually driven by IT. Well, we have a good team that have been working. We are tasking them also to continue to be on their feet in order to make sure that we achieve our objective. The IT team, I'm aware, immediately after the strike, has actually started providing training for academics and non-academics on how they can utilize technology for the delivery of teaching and learning services. That is currently going on. And for the very first time, we have organized actually online PhD defense, which was actually organized online. We have all the external examiners and other examiners that have contributed or that have done the examination virtually, and some of the team here. I want to congratulate both the ICT and the postgraduate school for achieving this feat. There are a number of innovations that has come on board. I'm sure you believe, gentlemen of the press, that despite the challenges that we have had, despite the challenges of having 8 months out of our one year, that we have made some decent landmarks as far as moving this university is concerned. We have had a number of challenges. Indeed, achieving this feat did not come without challenges like almost every aspect of our life. While using some of these setbacks as stepping stones to greater heights, we are still grappling with some of them, anticipating any form of assistance that will enable us to overcome some. The following are some of our major challenges we encountered since assumption in office. The industrial strike action by the staff unions of the universities, not the University of Jos. I must say that we've enjoyed, I must emphasize, I said it earlier on, locally we have enjoyed the collaboration and the cooperation of all the unions. But of course, any industrial action that is national, we are duty bound to key in. And that is one of the reasons why all the unions actually keyed in on the national strike. Secondly, we have had an unfortunate situation the destruction of some of our buildings and facilities by a rainstorm. Of course, it was a natural disaster, an unfortunate thing which happened in the morning of April the 24th of this year. We woke up with an unfortunate information that some of the buildings had been destroyed by a rainstorm the previous night. That was on the 23rd. And the buildings included unfortunately, the new Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, the new Faculty of Natural Science, the new donated Taekwondo Gymnasium, part of the J.T. Husseini Stadium, and all the buildings mentioned above are located at the Nagabuta campus and, of course, neighboring themselves. It was unfortunate, however, on our part, we reacted by mobilizing resources to ensure that those buildings were repaired and ready for use ahead of the resumption of academic activities. I'm happy to say that, to report that the buildings have been repaired, and of course some of them actually been commissioned on Monday the 21st of November. Handed over the 21st of November. The Faculty of Natural Sciences is currently going, the roofing of the building, and of course we believe that very soon all the destructions that we had over there will have been repaired. We also had an unfortunate inferno at the University of Jos Veterinary Teaching Hospital. On the morning of June the 9th, 2022, we woke up with distress calls informing us that our well-established veterinary teaching hospital located at Gadabu had been destroyed by an inferno caused as a result of an accident by a tanker that was conveying petrol but lost control and drove through the fence of the teaching hospital. And virtually all parts of the premises were actually engulfed in flames from the exploded truck. Of course, indeed, that incident has been a major setback. The university, through brilliance and the commitment of all the university staff, the dean of the faculty and other stakeholders have put in their best to ensure that we continue to have a teaching hospital in line with global standards. Unfortunately, this mishap means that we must rebuild most of the ones that we have lost from scratch. Like the issue of the rainstorm earlier discussed, management is seeking ways and means of intervention from various government and individuals and other agencies in order to assist in rebuilding what we have lost. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, in conclusion, I wish to conclude by once again thanking you all for the tremendous support and understanding that we have enjoyed. Indeed, we would not have had anything to show if not for the contribution, the support, and the commitment of all the staff, stakeholders, and our students. The first one year has gone now. We have a few more years to render our services. And our commitment is to make sure that we are here for service. We are here to ensure that whatever that we need to do, we do it for the glory of the university and for the glory of God. We convert your further support, you canvass for your further support and prayers. We need each and everyone to contribute in their respective capacities, because we are partners in progress. On our part, we assure you that we shall neither relent nor rest on our hours until we attain our desired objectives and goals of the university. I want to specially mention the Directorate of Physical Facilities. They have been working round the clock. I want to appreciate the Directorate of Student Affairs, the Directorate of Security Division, the Division of Security. They have been working even while the strike had actually been going on. So we want to thank you for all the services. And all the individuals that I'm not been able to mention, all the deans, all the contributions that we have been making. We have just started, and we are just beginning. This is the beginning of the end. The beginning of the end of the first year, and the starting of the many more years by the grace of God. We will continue to thank God for His grace and mercies, for His protection. As far as security is concerned, that is one of the reasons why we have not actually mentioned that. But we're making our several efforts to ensure that staff and students are actually secure on campus. And I've mentioned some of the things in passing. May I conclude with the famous quote by Harry Truman, the 33rd President of the United States, to the effect that men make history and not the other way around. In periods where there is no leadership, society stands still. Progress occurs when courageous, skillful leaders seize the opportunity to change the things for the better. That is from Harry Truman. Let us together make history and make Unijos a center of excellence and a place of pride for all. Distinguished principal officers here, distinguished guests, senior colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished members of the press, I want to thank you once again. We have a date with a destiny. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause to our digital Vice Chancellor for its commendable achievements to make 1 year in office. Thank you so very much, sir. At this juncture, may I now invite the press for the session of question and answer by the Vice Chancellor. Please, the floor is open for the press for questions, while the Vice Chancellor will take the questions and answer them all. Thank you so very much.
Ça, d'abord pour ça, microphone.
Question or so, but I have this responsibility of trying to capture all that you have said in sometimes a maximum of 1.5 minutes. So, sir, could you, in 30 seconds, if it is possible, summarize your achievements? If it is possible, sir, that's what I said. Because that's what I'm going to give you as the soundbite of the achievements of your administration, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, good day, sir. My name is Funam Joshua, once more from TBC News. The backlog of admission, sir, what's the way forward in respect to that?
Is that all? Okay. What's up? I can see they have. Can we take the third one?
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Yemi Kosoko, and I report for Channels Television News. Going through your paper, I want to appreciate and commend you for this achievement so far. And point 4.3, talking about research activities and the funds, the funded projects, TED Fund, NRF funded projects. There are lots of funded projects that have attracted huge amount of money, which is part of what the university community and in particular the lecturers are engaged in. In addition to lecturing, community relations, we are having an issue with ASU now, complaining about non-payment of these withheld salaries over the years. And we know that they are engaged in other activities. And there have been a lot of interventions. From what we have seen here, that these activities are part of the things that are going on during the industrial action. As the Vice Chancellor, who is also concerned about the welfare of ASU members, what will be your stand or probably appeal on the federal government stand of no work, no pay? Thank you, sir.
Hello. We would like to have another question before, just one more question before the Vice Chancellor answers, please. Just one more question.
My name is Onoja Abu Ojobani, Northern Regional Editor, Daily. Sir, on 4.2, improve ranking.
Please, can you speak a bit louder so that we can get
on improved ranking of the university. You said your core objective is to see to the improvement in the ranking of the university. Presently, what is the ranking of the university? Is it first, second, or what? What the whole team is hanging. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor can now go ahead to answer the questions.
Okay, gentlemen of the press, thank you very much for your questions. Mr. Godwin from NTA, you've asked me to summarize the achievements in 30 seconds. I can summarize the achievements in less than 30 seconds. As far as this management is concerned, what we have done over the past year is to improve upon the development of the collegiality of the university, the visibility of the university, improvement on the academic standard, improvement on funding, improvement on the welfare and of staff and students. Is that up to 30 seconds? I've done it. Thank you very much. Mr. Joshua, you've asked a question about admission. At the moment, I can tell you that at the moment we have 2 sets of admissions that are on ground. And we're just in our 8th week. We are in our 9th week of the first semester of the session. Of course, that means that these 2 sets will have to be decided with respect to how and when admission is going to be done. Fortunately, that is a prerogative and the responsibility of Senate. Until Senate meets, I will not be in a position to tell you this is when and this is how admission for those sets are going to be done. Thank you very much. On the issue of research activities and the issue of no work, no pay, I know I'm on live, but my position, my personal position, and I believe also the position of most of us is concerned, is that no work, no pay is not something that can apply in a university environment. And I've said it everywhere, anywhere I have the opportunity of saying it. And that is why we are able to report some of those achievements that we have over the past 1 year. Without staff, and if indeed academic staff working during the period of strike, we wouldn't have achieved those achievements. We wouldn't have recorded those achievements. So we have said it, and I've said it very clear. The responsibility of academics is summarized, is actually summarized into teaching, research, and community service. I believe that when ASU went on strike, what they only said was that they are not going to go to the classroom to teach. And that is only one third of the activities. In fact, not even 1/3, because academics also have the responsibility of administration. Every academic does a lot of administrative work. So we have appealed. And in fact, we have appealed as a committee of vice chancellors, together with the committee of pro-chancellors, to Mr. President, to make a consideration with respect to this issue of no work, no pay. Because staff have been working, whether at home or in their offices, and that is the reason why we are able to make these achievements. We believe that government is working, and government is working towards ensuring that there is an amicable resolution to this particular issue. So that's my response on that particular point. Thank you. With respect to the ranking, Mr. Onoja Audu, with respect to ranking actually is a process that from time to time you can be in particular this rank and next time you are on this particular rank. NUC has not yet come out with the current ranking. We are still awaiting the current ranking. But the previous ranking that I believe that the people who are seeing is that Unijos was ranked 23rd amongst 210 universities at the moment. It ranked 23rd. Now, as far as ranking is concerned, it depends on who does the ranking and the metric that they decided to use, for that particular ranking. But wherever we are ranked, we have to take it. Because ranking is also a process that tells an organization, a university in this particular instance, where you have been doing well and where we need to improve. Even that general ranking of 23rd, there are different metrics. Like, for example, if you look at the ranking with respect to the quality of teaching, a university can come on a different position. If you looked at with respect to research, a university can come in a different position. And those are all areas that we have been looking at. But I think as far as the University of Jos is concerned, and indeed most of the universities, we are considering the issue of quality. We are considering the issue of ensuring that we are adhering to international best practice and international standards in order to continue to be proud that indeed we have a great university, University of Jos. I was discussing with one of the alumni last night who visited the DVC admin. And the way and manner he spoke, despite whatever ranking that the University of Jos will have been given, the way and manner he spoke, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I was proud to be a great Josite. And I'm still proud to be a great Josite. So we will continue to improve on our standard, and that is what we want to make sure that we impact upon. We have great alumnus out there and doing fantastically well, and they are always, all the time proud, to say, because that particular guy last night, was saying that, look, I have met with my colleagues in IFE, I've met with my colleagues in Unilag, I've met with my colleagues with UI, and he said, you know what? Unijos, as a student of Unijos, we don't have time to make noise. We have time to study. And when we are out there, we demonstrate that we're out there. But what he's saying, which I actually like very much, and that is also one thing that has been affecting our ranking, is that we are not publicizing what we do. We are not making what we do more visible to the society to see, because visibility is part of one of the main criteria for those rankings, whether it's Times Higher, whether it's NUC, or whatever ranking, they look at the visibility. But I can tell you that we have great academics here, we have great researchers here, we have great administrators here, and they have demonstrated that anywhere, not only in Nigeria, in the world, they have found themselves. So, but we will continue to improve upon what we need to improve in order to improve our position. Our objective is to be ranked, at one of the top universities, not only in Nigeria but in Africa, and indeed in the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. For want of time, I think we are going to take just 2 more questions because we have another major event.
I have seen the former acting Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Greg Godem Ejikeme. To God be the glory. Professor Greg, please come on the high table. This is not Senate. Please come on the high table. Professor Nasir, and actually, all our council members should come up so that they can also appear on the camera. All the members of council, please come up. Professor Solomon, Professor Nasir, as far as the University Act is concerned, members of council are our employer. Okay, are there more questions? Are there more questions quickly?
I think there is.
Yes, okay.
Okay, good afternoon, sir. My name is Israel, and currently freelancing with IFM. Sir, you, in one of your achievements, you talk about working closely with the host community, and that is in terms of securing the university, which is very important. We know how the country is right now. I want you to tell us more what you're doing, what you intend to do to see that the university environment is very much secure, especially in the light of this working relationship with the host community, because we know what happens when any form of security breach occurs within this environment and how fast it flows to the outside world. Thank you.
My name is Murtala Sani, Radio Nigeria. Sir, you told us some of your achievements vis-a-vis challenges. And the challenges include MFNO that involves some buildings and parts of the university. So far, what effort have you put in place in order to curtail future occurrence? That's number one. Then the second question is just a line of what the last voter asked. I want you to give us, or to give me an assurance that will I rent a house as Mr. John in Angoro or Mr. Musa staying in Osau to pursue my activities in the university now? So, because you said that there are some, you went for some courtesy also these communities and the assurance that peace has formally returned to those areas. So, what assurance? Thank you.
Thank you so very much. The Vice Chancellor can now answer the questions because of the constraint of time.
Is that all?
That is what.
All right, thank you very much. The first question is about feelings secure. I mean, about host communities. Is for community development. The reason why this university is set up is to help develop this community and the society. So number one objective is how do we develop this community to start what we are doing? Perhaps the communities have been seeing and looking at the university as a threat. The university as a threat for whatever reasons. But we must work together so that we see ourselves as partners in progress. And that is what we have started demonstrating. The communities are beginning to see that yes, we are partners in progress. We have reached out, we have gone around, you know, to see them. And you recall what I said about the Naraguta earlier on. Thankfully, Professor Ejikeme is here. He used to tell you why and how difficult it is to actually go to that area. Now we can easily go in and out. So it's about understanding. It's about understanding the value of the university and also the value of the community. You see, what we have not been doing, even in the state, is the economic development that the university is bringing to the state. If you look at another country or another city outside, they will tell you the economic development that university has brought into the community and into the state. But of course, we are not very good in data management. We are not good in data analysis. You know, during the strike, I was not seeing a lot of community people coming out with granite to sell, with iron to sell, you know, and so on and so forth. But immediately there was an announcement that the university is resuming. You see the sort of activities that have actually come back. Are those not economic activities? They are economic activities. So, and these are all things that we're supposed to understand, you know, between ourselves and the community. And of course, what we also need to continue to do is the peaceful coexistence. Peaceful coexistence is normally a process, and that is what we have started with. And we are beginning to see, you know, the benefit of that particular process that we have started. And that is why we have set up the committee. We have not only sat down in the university to say that we are going to bring the professors McCain and so, you know, to sort out our community engagement. We decided to sit down and bring in some professors, some chiefs and emirs, you know, and even politicians within the community to come so that we together. This committee has been sitting and have been discussing various aspects. And to the extent, and that is why I started with a university as a citadel of knowledge, to an extent that some communities at the moment, some immediate communities are beginning to actually task the university to say, look, we actually have this, how can we go into research so that we can develop these things further? And I think that is the advantage of peaceful coexistence, talking to one another. I believe that will actually make us further. The second question ended, actually the second person ended, Sani, ended before I address the issue of the challenges. While we are working with the communities, the question is, what assurance can we give, you know, that the students can stay from anywhere, you know, and safely come to the university? It's a work in progress. We have started and we have seen the benefit. I wanted to say that during the last strike, we were privileged to know that the community, particularly the community in Phyllis came out and told the students that were living there that no student should run away. And they called the community and said, the community has the responsibility of safeguarding these students. And that was done. We didn't hear anything that happened actually during that crisis in Phyllis. We are beginning to understand why there are crises. And why there are crises most of the time is not that it is the members of the community that are actually aggressive to the university. Sometimes, you know, people take advantage of the situation. And one of the things that we are beginning to understand from these communities is that some of those people that will come and try to destroy or try to cause confusion within the university were not actually community members. Some people actually come in and go out, but they are beginning to actually say, to indicate that it is their responsibility, you know, to provide some level of security to provide some level of safety as far as our communities are concerned. And I want to thank the communities thus far. We will continue to engage with them. We will continue to make sure that we work hand in hand towards ensuring that we have a safe community. If the university is in fire, I don't think anybody will come to Ngwanogo. I don't think anybody will want to go to Narabuta. So that's the information and that's the knowledge that all of us will need to have. And again, one of the things that we said we were going to do is to have a database of the students. The Student Affairs, the Directorate of Student Affairs have started, populating that. We want to have a database of students wherever they are staying, because we are aware that the accommodation that we have on campus can only accommodate less than 10% of the students. So majority of students stay off campus. So we're building a database in collaboration with the Student Affairs and I believe even the Student Union towards making sure that anywhere the students are living off campus, we need to have a database of the landlord, the contact person, and so on and so forth. So that if anything happens, if anything is to happen, the university will have a way of contacting people, will have a way of deploying even support to students, within those communities. So that's what we're doing as far as the community is concerned. With respect to challenges, I'll start with challenge number one. What can we do to avoid future occurrence? What can we do to avoid the future occurrence of ASUU strike? Our response, and I believe it's a general response, government, please give universities the autonomy that the law, that the Act actually provides. Because as far as the university is concerned, if it is the Pro-Chancellor and Council and Governing Council are the ones that have the mandate, of most of the things and actually management. I believe if this issue of strike was handed over to Pro-Chancellors and said, look, you Pro-Chancellors, go and discuss on how we can address this particular issue. I can assure you that the strike wouldn't probably have lasted more than a week. So those are the issues. So let government address the issue of education and let all of us, in government and individuals, be very, very sincere, and serious about education. Of course, education is costly. If government is funding education 100%, let government provide adequate funding for education. If government is not funding education 100%, let government come out and say, look, we can only fund education 50%, let individuals and parents fund the remaining 50%. As a university or as public universities, we will now begin to look at ways and manners of supporting students who cannot, more or less afford to go to university. So that's the one way that we can address, future occurrence as far as the strike are concerned. As we speak, I understand that there's a NEC meeting of ASUU tomorrow, and I believe all our fingers are crossed. I'm praying that there's nothing that will come out that will actually disrupt the peace that we are beginning to enjoy on campus and the academic activities that we have already started. So that is on the other hand. As far as the storm is concerned, of course, we learn every day. One of the things that we discovered on that particular, and that's why it was indicated that the storm happened around the same campus, around the same area. When you look at that area, unfortunately, we didn't have, storm breaking mechanisms like trees and so on and so forth. One thing that, of course, that we should be able to do now is we have already started a tree planting campaign. That is one. We are also conscious now that as far as that place is concerned, even from the architectural aspect of it, with respect to the type of zinc, the type of roofing, I believe that is what the Directorate of Physical Facilities have done now in order to ensure that we are working towards averting the potential future occurrence of such aspects. As far as the veterinary teaching hospital is concerned, we are doing quite a lot with respect to looking at the actual siting of the teaching hospital, and probably building in more bollards that will more or less stop vehicles, whatever happened, as far as that area is concerned. We are looking at various options, but the point is that we have learned from what has happened, and we are working towards ensuring that what has happened to us to the university will not continue to happen to the university. And we are also praying to God. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, once more put your hands together to our digital Vice Chancellor. Like I earlier said, for want of time, we have another major event coming up, which is the town hall meeting. We won't be able to take more questions. So on this note, may I now invite the chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, the representative, please, Plateau State Council, in the person of Mr. Peter Amine, who is the secretary of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Plateau State Chapter, if he's here for vote of thanks, please, so that to close this chapter.
The Vice Chancellor, University of Jos.
Maybe you can come forward, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
The Vice Chancellor, University of Jos, principal officers, all protocols duly observed. I don't know whether to congratulate you for 1 year in office or 4 months in office, but for what you have been able to achieve within this period, I think it will stand the test of time. In spite of the obvious challenges, you've been able to articulate very important points, very important achievement within this period. I want to assure you on behalf of my colleagues here this afternoon that our job is to help others propagate what others are doing, is to let the world know whatever anyone is doing that is good for the community. You have done very well, and we assure you that we on our part, we are going to let the world know what you have just reeled out to us today. I assure you that journalists will take their time and they will do their best to let the world know about your achievement. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Peter Amine, for the vote of thanks. I think it is very important to also extend an invitation to the gentlemen of the press that are here, because we're about to start the town hall meeting in a few minutes' time. If you can join us, if you so wish to join us, please, you are most welcome. On this note, we have come to the end of this very occasion. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I have said, we're about to start the town hall meeting. gentlemen, we are still extending our invitation to all of you for this town hall meeting, which is going to be an interactive session with the Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos. Please, for those of you that are seated behind, can you kindly move forward? Please kindly move forward. Let's have this together with you. Kindly move forward. Please, if you are part of this town hall meeting. Our meeting is for basically this category of individuals and groups, the principal officers, deans and directors, heads of department and heads of units, union officials, and of course the student union government. Thank you so very much. Please be seated. We are about to start this town hall meeting. If you are part of us, we crave your indulgence. So be seated, please.